that. I'm like, and everything cuts off at once. I'm not even gonna edit that. You know what? Let the world. So let's continue. Oh, did I break my ring light? Nope. We're good. Are we good? All right. Great. So the Federal Reserve is having a secret meeting tomorrow. Well, today actually. Countdown to the Fed meeting, and it's emergency. It is expedited. I'm going to read to you guys what the little fine print says because it's one of those that's like 6 font bold. And sorry again, I'm just too lazy to edit out me falling. I mean, me falling is just a part of who I am. So as you all get to know me, you'll all learn what a klutz I am and how I'll have things like that happen. So, closed board meeting, government attention. The matters to be considered, review and determination by the Board of Governors of advance and discount rates to be charged by the Federal Reserve Banks. Okay, what are discount rates? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you all were wondering the same thing. What is a discount rate? Excellent. So discount rate is actually not, in this context, what it sounds like. It sounds like we're going to get a lot of discounts, which we won't. Well, as a fund manager, I could, but for argument's sake, the institutions will. So the discount rate is the rate in which the Federal Reserve allows a bank to borrow money from them. Again, the Treasury prints the money, and I promise you guys, start reporting people on YouTube who say the Fed prints the money. The Fed, no, they don't. And honestly, YouTube should fine people that are in finance saying such untrue information in regards to monetary policy. So let's be very clear. In regards to these discount rates, you have primary, secondary, seasonal. Secondary is more expensive than primary, and seasonal is about a mix of the market rates. So the reason this is so insidiously ominous is because the discount rates are going to determine what the bank can borrow money cost. So, for example, Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan Chase, daddy of all daddies, part of TARP, to the Troubled Asset Relief Program. He's definitely been around the block. So let's say he goes to the Federal Reserve and was borrowing right now, because remember, interest rates lowered July 2019 for the first time in a decade. And I always said that they were going to dunk rates like donuts, drive up corporate and personal debt, and then hike them up like Elon into space. So back to Jamie Dimon. Let's say he's easing. While this discount rate emergency secret, keep in mind, secret stealth meeting, even though it's on the website, but no media outlets are covering it, not even Bloomberg. Why are they doing that? Well, they're going, more than likely, I'm going to hypothesize, because of course I could be wrong, but they're going to have to get the discount rates up. So basically what that means is the banks will, and depository institutions, you're going to hear the word depository. That means the banks are going to then decide what percentage the Fed's going to charge for them to borrow money. Now, it's still going to be significantly cheaper, but how the fuck does this affect you? Why does it matter? I'm so glad that we're just delineated in thought. So if you have a credit card, student loan debt, auto debt, a mortgage, etc., well, more than likely it's from a public institution or a depository. I don't know why I find that word to be so weird. However, when the banks make lending go up, and by lending go up, interest rates up, when the Fed Reserve causes rates to go up, percent APR on a credit card, it basically means that you could go from 10% to 20 if you have an adjustable rate, anything. So stay away from the subprime lending. Make sure to get mortgages cheap. However, this is so instrumental because if anything, this is going to signal, first off, in my opinion, we're going to see a 0.5, if not, if not sooner. So let's just get some definitions really quickly, because again, this is a meeting no one is talking about. I know some people in Germany, and I've already heard that they're calling me Michael Burry Jr., like the female version of Michael Burry, because I just read pervasively. I'm neurodivergent as fuck. Disclaimer, I do have pervasive ADHD. But this information is just so important to me. And I'm going to go over the prime rate versus the discount rate. I just want to make sure I've covered all my bases. And so, okay, we've got the discount rate. The Fed uses the discount rate to control the supply of available funds. Okay, we covered that, which in turn influences inflation. We all know that the CPI came out as 7.2 to 7.5. Yikes. I want to say it's the highest it's been since 1982, but I was not alive then. So the more money available fractionalized banking system. However, because of it, there is no longer a requirement for depository institutions to have a cash reserve. Meaning, if I go to the bank, it used to be I give them $100, they take 90, they keep 10. Now they just get to keep is another interest rate set by the Fed for banks to charge each other for overnight loans. Again, you have the repo market, super fun. I can do a totally different video, but for today's secret emergency expedited quote unquote meeting today, let's just keep it short, simple, dumb it down. That way everybody can share it, stream it, and be on the same page so we can all watch these men, these group of white men like a hawk, because don't forget the two Jews did interest rates to rise. So I want to make a hypothesis. They're going to raise the discount rate in this meeting. Agree with me? All right, let's keep going. The Fed can decrease, and this is just kind of common sense logic and reason, can decrease the money supply by increasing the discount rate. We've gone through this, but I just want to make sure to have some vernacular vocabulary definitions. As you all can tell, I am amped about this meeting. Increasing the discount rate gives depository institutions less incentive to borrow, thereby decreasing their reserves and lending activity. Now, how the fuck is it going to affect you? Back to what we were talking about. Great. I'm so glad you asked. Prime rate versus discount rate. So the Fed Reserve Bank sets the discount rate, and then what happens is you're fucked. A local interest rate, prime rate, can vary bank to bank. Prime is a short-term rate, but not as short-term as the discount rate. So they kind of offset one another. So basically, how bad the bank wants to fuck you over compared to what the Fed sets. What the Fed sets is not what the bank itself sets. You track it with aside from CEO of Goldman Sachs. Shout out to David Solomon as an electronic dance music DJ. I would say he is my inspiration. He's a Jew. I'm a Jew. He makes music. I make music. He's apparently very good at making money. And that is what cards really hit by this. So when banks decide, again, if you have an adjustable rate mortgage, the banks decide we're going to up it times 10%. You can see a mortgage from 8% to 18%, credit card from 10% to 20%. I don't know. I mean, it's insane to think that the banks have that much power to fuck you over to then cause massive defaults. Now, if you're fixed and locked in, I hope so. Let's just say this, you guys, let's make this a warning, please. I am able to essentially kind of whistleblow simply because I read. No one else I know is reading this stuff. Even Bloomberg, even the analysts, even the institutions. I'm not even sure people know about this. They did do this in about 2015. And I have some charts I can show you guys, but fuck the charts, right? Like let's talk about how it's going to affect us. So auto loans, student loans. Okay, let's see. We have about $1 trillion in credit card debt, so that should go shoo. 15, whatever I want to say, trillion. I keep getting the billions and the trillions mixed up now. Household debt. I know that we've got $1 trillion trade deficit. That's not good. I know that we've got over $1 trillion in student loan debt. This can't be. So this is just not headed towards a good path, but they need to do it. We need Alan Greenspan, but since there's no Alan Greenspan, they need to do what they need to do. However, why do you all, and drop it in the C section, the comment section, why do you all think that they're keeping this meeting stealth? They've done quantitative tightening before as well. It just didn't turn out too well, and they had to kind of stop and reverse course. However, the Federal Reserve, in my opinion, has planned that playing, and then COVID came, and that to just stay at home, chill, buy shit. Who knows? I don't know what people did. I know I was not stimulated. Okay. I didn't get stimulated by the government. I'm quite upset. If anybody knows how I can be stimulated by Uncle Sam, please drop supply. Think about it. If you have a surplus of gold, then gold will not be worth what it is. I personally am a silver girl, and I urge all of you to look at what Warren Buffett did with silver, being that silver can be broken down to actually be made into something manufacturing wise. I think silver in a depression might be more interesting. Again, not financial advice. Orca Oshio, we really care. My partner Ronnie and I very much care about equitable opportunities and equitable knowledge in relation to this. 30 million people tonight bet on the Super Bowl. $23.8 billion is supposed to be spent tomorrow for Valentine's Day. Unknown dependent visa to set this free. So if I were the Federal Reserve, I would want to still capitalize or really, really take the chance of people who have not paid off their Christmas debt. Valentine's Day, the markets are probably going to not even notice that the Feds had an emergency expedited meeting. And let me try to get this pulled up exactly how it is, because again, I think I might be the only person that reads the Federal Reserve website for fun, but I do. It's a closed board meeting, by the way, just as of 6 minutes ago. Ooh, okay, we have 11 a.m. Should I stream it at 11 a.m. and just make some predictions? It's going to be held under all of these rules and shit. And the determination of the advanced and discount rates, the final announcement will be considered under expedited procedures. Okay, hard stop. Okay. Expedited procedures, secret meeting, not one media channel. You guys spam this video, sub, stream, share, whatever you need to do. Hi, what's up, guys? So literally spam it, stream it, share it. For those that are calling me mini Michael Burry, I am beyond flattered. I'm neurodiverse like him, so I have ADHD and a high functioning Asperger. No shame at all, and PTSD, CPTSD, and panic disorders for sure. But as someone who is a pervasive reader, just to the point of annoyance. Oh, it says it's going to be published under the Board of Information and Public Affairs Office. So they're not even going to publish it to the public. I mean, they are, but they're not. Does that make sense? It's like if I post something on social media, but I go like edit a photo from, yeah, they're not even going to tell like Bloomberg. I mean, have any of you guys heard about this? But it just kills me the way they worded it. Government and the Sunshine Meeting notice. And it's going to be announced under expedited procedures. And so share the shit out of this because the discount rates, again, the banks discount rates, they're going to go up, and that's going to give the Fed the power to then raise more as a contrarian than to see a full crash. But no problem. I was shocked. I said I have to redo this video and pray to God no low latency because this information is in so much about equitable opportunity and equitable knowledge. We're not giving financial advice. And let me say this, if you guys hate the banks, go digital. Do it digital with us. Make your money move digitally without a third party involved. Because right now, for example, in Orlando, granted, Black's mortgage loans and approval have gone up. They're still not being as approved as white people, which is still fucked up. That's from 2021. So the thought of people of color having to pay more, because of course lending is going to go up. I believe the mortgage rate's about 4%. I think we're going to see about a 5% mortgage rate, probably $100 barrel an oil a barrel. But this discount expedited emergency meeting is going to begin the process of the Fed's hiking interest rates and also hiking credit cards, student loan debt, mortgage, auto, and anything else you can think of that has a borrowing tag to it. So I encourage all of you, please, please, please save, be wise. Again, Ronnie and I care so much about equitable opportunity. I keep hearing the word equitable finance, equitable finance. Well, to me, I don't know about you guys, but as a Semitic Jewish girl, a bunch of white men in a room deciding what's best for, I don't know, 325 million people who live in America, and then the global economy. When remember, China's lowering rates. Go figure. But and I'm not necessarily for that. They've also have Evergrande, the largest property developer, Fantasia Cynic, etc., defaulting. I know. Shout out to Howard Marks for investing. I want to say in Venice in Paradise. He had got a sick place. Two of their properties, Evergrande, the second largest property developer. But you have to ask yourself, since the offshore bondholders have not been paid and they're defaulting in dollars, what does that do to some of the pension funds with Evergrande and the other 28% of the Chinese property developers that make up China's GDP? It's a fair question, right? I am pumped about this meeting. I want to know what you all think is going to happen. Do you guys agree with me? I know there are some people still out there that think the Federal Reserve is going to help them. Nay, nay. They wanted to dunk them rates like donuts, drive up personal debt, drive up corporate debt, and then hike those motherfuckers up like Elon Musk and a SpaceX rocket ship. Because why not? Why not cause a bunch of defaults? It's been about what, 15, 16 years since a crash? I mean, come on. Live 29, paycheck to paycheck. Can someone explain to me why every time I get on Instagram, it looks like everybody's living their best lives, always on vacation somewhere else, tropical or snow skiing? What's the hack? I'm confused. Is it Photoshop? Is it sugar daddies? Well, what is it? Just out of curiosity, because if that is the statistic of America, then statistically, social media, based on just the fact that I'm a data nerd, cannot be accurate in any way, shape, or form. And you are totally welcome. So, discount rates, emergency meeting, expedited meeting. And again, David Rubenstein, you are brilliant. You founded the Carlyle Group. You have, I mean, he is brilliant. David Rubenstein's brilliant. But Jerome Powell, really? Why? Where? How did you guys? How did he end up in the mix? Did his dad? I don't know. Because again, the Carlyle Group has had something. Will be raised. Not much of a higher cost. We're not talking with your credit cards, with your auto, student loan, any type of thing that has an institution. And again, if you don't like it, go digital. The same third party. As two minorities, we want to make sure that information is accessible and equitable to everyone and that everyone we treat as our friend. And so I'm really happy for people saying, oh my gosh, I've not heard of this meeting. I mean, I literally ran a Google search just to check Google News. You're not going to find it. If you Google the Federal Reserve meeting on Google News, crypto braces for week ahead of an emergency meeting. So they didn't, that's the only thing that you're going to see. You're not going to find any substance. You're not going to find, and by the way, the crypto market should not have anything to do with this, by the way. As a digital asset manager and someone who specializes in the blockchain technology space, the crypto market went parabolic when they lowered rates for the first time in a decade. That was I, when 2016 I was in, but I really enjoyed the parabolic run starting in 2019 with cryptocurrencies and have lots of experience from that. I dislike any, I don't like the cryptos or Bitcoin, of course, is a semi maximalist because it's trading linear to the stock exchange. And it did it last Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls ago, the 2020, and then it went down. But that's okay because more than likely I'll be able to get mining equipment from people who decided to buy in the euphoria and cannot maintain operating costs. So another parent, if you send us pray for Oshi. We do have a new program developer. Shout out. I'm so excited to work with them. You guys, we're going to have some fun projects. But yeah, what do you all think about the Federal Reserve secret expedited discount rate meeting? Did I explain it okay? Because as someone who's not good at nuance and who is severe ADHD and is just biting into chomps to want to know, why does this have to be so secret? I want an invite. Hopefully, I'll just run the Fed one day. Again, be the first female monetarist like Alan Greenspan, because you can say what you want about him. Deregulated finance is the best, and privatizing Social Security would have been much better versus Social Security getting a 20% haircut in 2034. What are you guys thinking? Because I can see what you guys are saying, but yeah, what do you all think? What do you think is going to happen at this secretive meeting that the news does not want to report on? How did I figure this out? Some, I guess the future face of finance is female. I mean, I guess you guys would not mind to see a Federal Reserve chair look like this. I'll allow you all to insert the stereotypes. But Orca Oshi just really believes in due diligence, and due diligence is also doing research. And by the way, in case you all want to just learn some definitions, monetary policy deals with Federal Reserve policy, and fiscal policy deals with the Congress. So people fuck that up too. I don't watch finance channels. Let me just go over some basic info while we're at it. We're still purging this economy, and I don't know anybody, thank God, because I would probably just pew. Well, let's see. CPI data, and that's consumer price index, by the way. Again, finance, for some reason, we love to fucking make up things. 7.5 jump in prices. Food was up over 20% year over year. Rent was up, and energy prices 10 to 20 and 40 to 50 respectively. Yikes. And then not to mention the whole of the cargo ships. Have you guys ever thought about this? The stimulus money that they gave Americans, and again, I was not stimulated, went towards buying shit from other countries. So essentially, it made other countries wealthier by our treasury printing money for COVID relief. Let's think about that. People that went and bought TVs or any type of electronics, or again, I don't know what America makes anymore. But again, we have shortages, food shortages, supply chain disruptions, chip shortages. Remember, China, Taiwan. Taiwan is one of the biggest chip manufacturers. But why is that? Why is that they give us stimulus money in America? Gosh, we just don't seem to get it. We have like 100 cargo ships, and all the stimulus money that people spent to buy things didn't even go into the American economy. It went right into the cargo I care about that. We have 42 million Americans on food stamps. We have 100 million Americans out of the labor force. John Williams on shadowstats.com estimates inflation to be about 15%, which I happen to agree with him. This thing's going to blow. And in my opinion, I'll leave you guys with this. The Federal Reserve and just fuck all of you. They just will in regards to credit cards, student loans, auto loans, mortgages, etc. Because again, if they have to pay 1% to borrow, they're going to charge you all 11%. Yikes. Why what yikes. Why are they so high? A parabolic bubble? No thank you. I'm sure that's going to have some sort of effect because I think the word is compensatory. I can't pronounce it. Don't come for me. I suck at pronunciation. Je suis désolé. I can sometimes speak better other languages than that. But basically spending where you don't have the excess money anymore. And I'm guessing people are going to have to start pulling their stocks if there's not already a crash. The Fed's going to have to let the market run hot. Housing market's definitely going down with it because you can't have a housing market when, for example, in LA, the average home cost is 800,000 and people are putting 25% of their income and wages into their house just to put a down payment on, just a down payment. That's not going to end well. If housing is increasing by 15 to 20% and wages are increasing by 3 to 5%, anybody else other than myself see why that might be a problem? Because most of the money is going to be going towards housing and food is already up and gas is already up. So the American lifestyle's fucked. So the Fed's going to have to hike rates. They're going to have to hike discount rates for the banks, obviously in secret, unless it's me telling you all about it because they publish it on their website. And who aside from myself reads the website? So they're going to have to do that. I predict a market crash. I'm ready for that motherfucker crash, 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 crash. My personal suggestion, Orca Oshis, is for everyone to be responsible. And by that, don't be an idiot. Don't leverage trades time 100. Just friend to friend. Just please don't do dumb shit. I know that it might be tempting. Please don't be tweeting. I am the founder of the antisocial media valuation contrarian club. Merch coming soon. So for those that are value investors like myself, please don't listen to Elon Musk. Like, just don't do any of that. Do your own research and look at what happened in the Great Depression. Unfortunately, tariffs made it worse. And so the Federal Reserve has no choice but to raise rates, try to get inflation under control, and let the market crash. There's nothing more they can do. They have to tighten the balance sheet. But this time it's so high compared to where it was. And quantitative tightening didn't really work last time. So in my opinion, just let it fucking crash. I think that there is a good chance they might just let it run hot because they said it. I forgot which month it was, but Jerome Powell retail investors get margin calls they can't fulfill and accounts are liquidated. And it's just like the Great Depression, but with a more technological feel. Pray for America, pray for anybody invested in these markets. And if Bitcoin is linear to the stock exchange, you're not going to see me jumping up and down. Now, there is a way to hedge Bitcoin, and I'm very good at it. I know how. That's a different video for a different day. But today's focus is the Fed Reserve meeting, and what can they do? They have to do something, or they have to do nothing and just let the market crash. But I think all of you, I'm so happy that you guys were all able to see this, hear it, stream it, and head back to Te Amo. I love you guys. Share it. Let everyone know about this.